Hello, this is Spartan Commander, and this is the 566 Brotherhood, a game that I've put onto YouTube. Straight away here you'll see that it is not Rome Total War or Barbarian Invasion, it is actually Medieval Total War 2. As a lot of you know, we play Rome Total War every Friday and Saturday night, but since December we've been playing Barbarian Invasion every Sunday night. But last Sunday we decided to do something a little bit different, and we thought we'd have a go at Medieval Total War 2. Alright, I haven't played this game for over 12 years, so I'm kind of relearning it, and a lot of Brotherhood members have never played it before, so we're kind of learning the game, if you see what I mean. But I thought just for something a little bit different, I might put, I would put this Medieval 2 Total War Battle on for you to watch. As I say, it's something that we seem to like it quite a lot, so we may well play this on alternate Sundays with Barbarian Invasion, if you see what I mean. Okay, to start off with here, we're going to go to single player. Okay, and then we're going to go to Custom Battle, and there we are. You can see here the kind of menu, if you like, for Custom Battle. Can you see there the periods there? So you can have early, high, late, or all. I always go to all so that we've got full access to all the units on Medieval Total War 2. And here's the maps. As you click on the maps, so that you get a little snapshot of the actual maps that you decide you want to fight on. Lots of interesting names there, but of course we're still learning the maps. As you will see in the battle that I'm going to show you, I didn't realise what kind of map it was, but you'll see what I mean. As I say, we're learning the game and the maps. Okay, so here we have the unit selection here. Can you see what we found is that the units on here are a lot cheaper than Rome Total War or Barbarian Invasion. So what we find is 20,000 florins each gives it an army, a good balanced army, if you see what I mean. So 20k each, and there's all the different factions that you can choose from there. So you've got a good selection there, and I must say, from what I've seen, most of the units here are very well balanced. Most of the factions are really well balanced. There you are, some Aztecs there. Look, you've got the Papal States. Look, you've got Russia. You've got a big selection here. And if you notice here, I've gone England for this. Just show to you here, like, and there's a unit selection card. You see, you've got a lot of different units you can show for look at. I've got a saved army here. So if I load it up, and there you go, that's my experimental England army there. You can see a lot of archers. Missile troops in this game are very, very important. Okay, and I've got long range archers, I've got good cavalry, and I've got the elite infantry there. Can you see? So that's my army. Now, can you see on the unit selection, can you see those two units are darkened? Okay, that means that I've selected too many of them, and every time I select them, once they go darkened, they cost more and more money. Okay, so it's, you can't choose the best infantry all the time, otherwise they just become cost ineffective, if you see what I mean. So I think you can maybe have 3 or 4 of one unit, and then the cost starts going up, so it's not worth buying them really. Okay, so let's go back to the main menu again and look at the multiplayer. Okay, now bearing in mind this is quite early in the morning, so I'm not expecting to see a lot of people in the lobby, but there you go. See, you've got a chat lobby and the multiplayer as you have in RTW. There's where all the players' names are there. Normally there's loads in there and loads of games up as well, and this is of course where we talk to each other. There you go. I'll give a quick hello to there, let's see. So you talk to each other, so it's nice to have a chat lobby within the game there, so like RTW, so we can all talk to each other. But usually in the evenings and at night, this lobby is very lively, lots of people, as I say, and lots of battles up as well. Like, so let's say just sort of show you the preliminary of the game here. And as I say, I hope you enjoy this battle, and it should be an interesting one for you to watch, and it's something a bit different from what we've put on before. Okay, so here we are on the battlefield. Now, as I say, we are learning the maps on here, and unfortunately I've hosted on a winter map that's a bit hilly, and I straight away like to apologise to the enemy team here, because I think on this map we seem to get hill advantage. So as I say, we're still learning the maps on here for even maps like. Okay, so as you can see here, my team is Portugal, my army is Portugal here, and if you have a closer look there, you'll see I've got Pavis crossbowmen. Now these are pretty good guys because they got good long range, and they got shields on their backs. So when they turn to reload their crossbows, which takes a bit of time, as they turn their back on the enemy, look, they've got the shields on their back to protect them from enemy shots. Okay, and this is real. This is what really happened back in the day. These Pavis crossbowmen had these shields on their back, because obviously reloading a crossbow takes a bit of time. So obviously when they turn their back to the enemy, they're a good target. But if they got a big shield on their back, that of course protects them. Then I've got my infantry there. You can see there, I think those are anti-cavalry infantry, but they're effective against armor anyway, so they're pretty good. Then I've got my adventuros spearmen there. Now these guys, of course, because they got spears, are anti-cavalry, but also they're good against infantry as well. And they got long spears there as well, so that obviously helps keep the enemy at bay there. And I've got 2 lots of cavalry. I've got my Knights of Santiago, I think that is, the Knights of Santiago there. And they're pretty, they seem to be quite fast moving knights, faster than the other knights that I've got there. And the other knights that I've got are the Conquistadores. Okay, so as I say, I've got 2 different types of knights there. But I think they've both got basically the same specifications there. So that's my basic army there, Portugal. As we move up the hill here to our next teammate, who is Finrod Felagund. A lot of the veterans would know him as Wolves Cappy, but he's Finrod Felagund now. And as you can see, he's got Pavis crossbowmen as well. As I say, they got good long range, they got good defense, and it's interesting to see how they load their crossbows. You'll see that later. He's got dismounted conquistadores there. They're really good infantry, and of course he's got his pikemen there. And these guys are good against cavalry and against infantry as well. And if you notice, they've got very long pikes. So, as I say, I think pikes in this game seem to be quite, quite useful. And in some cases, quite essential, actually, on the front of your battle line. Okay, and our last teammate is Brotherhood member Clash, who's also bought the Spain faction. And if you notice here, his army looks completely different from Felagund's Spain army here. It's to make every army look individual. Can you see they're both Spain, but they both look very different there. As I say, I think it's to make every army individual. If you notice here, he's got his I'm not sure how you pronounce those, but those are kind of musket troops there. And they've got good long range. Now what they tell us on here, the veterans that play this game tell us that gun units are very overpowered in this game, and most players don't host allowing guns. Okay, but I thought to myself, well, we're new to this game, and I think allowing 2 gun units max each would be fair. So that's what I've allowed here. As I say, most players on MTW2 believe the gun units are too overpowered and don't have them in their game, but we got 2 gun units maximum in our games here. Plus you can see Clash has got those Pavis crossbowmen. He's also got dismounted chivalric knights there as well. They're pretty tough, they seem pretty tough there. And he's got dismounted conquistadores there as well. So as I say, it's getting used to the different units and the different factions here. And as I say, once again, apologise to the other team for having such a big hill map. At this stage of the battle, I thought I'd have a look at my battle formation here. Let you have a look here. As I say, it's all experimental at the moment. But if you notice here, I've got my spearmen on the front line of my battle formation there to put off any enemy cavalry attacks. And then I've got my elite infantry in behind those spearmen there, to be brought into the fray when ready. Okay, so that's the experimental battle formation. I've got all my missile units in open order, and of course my cavalry is locked and loaded. So it'll be interesting to see how this experimental formation goes during the course of the battle. And here is the other team. We have Brotherhood member First Prime, who's bought the Holy Roman Empire. Okay, now straight away I'd like to draw your attention to this. Can you see he's got 6 missile units there? Okay, 6 there, and it's the Pavis crossbowmen again. As I say, good range, good defense there, but he's got 6. That goes to show how important missile troops are. Now we move back to his infantry there. Do you notice that his whole army are pikemen? I think if we look closely there, you'll see that they are all pikemen with those very, very long pikes. And of course, our team have to fight all the way down those pikes to kill the man on the other end. So I think, as I say, all his infantry are pikemen there. Now don't forget, we're all experimenting with MTW2 at the moment. So it's all experimental armies. And then you can see that he's got his cavalry there, the Imperial Knights there. So that looks pretty good. I like the formation he's got there as well. Looks pretty cool. And their next teammate is an MTW player called Fighter there, and he has got Milan, and that's a pretty good faction there. And they've got Genoese crossbowmen here. Now they've got even longer range than the Pavese crossbowmen, and they've even got better defense. So as I say, they've got good, as I say, long distance missiles, and they've got a good defense, so they're pretty tough. And there you can see his units there. Dismounted feudal knights. I think he got broken lances there, is it? Yeah, broken lance knights there as well. Yes, as I say, it's experimenting for us, but this guy seems to be a seasoned MTW2 player. So also here, can you see this unit here? Now it says artillery. Of course we don't allow artillery because we've got normal 31k rules, but we haven't got any artillery in this game. But this is also a morale giving unit as well, so he's brought it along for the morale that it gives. As I say, because we don't allow artillery in the game, you can't use it as artillery, but it is a morale giving unit. So that's his army there. That's pretty effective. And their last teammate right down the other end of this mountain here is Brotherhood member Danny, who's also got the Milan faction as well. So as I say, but he's got musketeers here, can you see? Now these musketeers have got good long range, got quite a good a rate of fire as well. They're pretty good. And then he's got his pike militia in behind them, and also he's got his dismounted feudal knights there as well. And of course he's also got a morale bringing unit. As I say, it says artillery, but they turn the artillery off of this unit so it doesn't fire anything, and it's just a morale giving unit there. Okay, so there's Danny's army there. That's pretty good. So as I say, it's got the potential to be a great battle, and our first one on our channel. Okay, at this stage of the game here, you can see that we've actually really have got a hill advantage here. As I say, we're still learning these maps, so I think this map is called the Scottish Glen map, and I just thought it looked an interesting winter map here. And as I say here, we need to come down from the hill there and form up a line. Just hope that we get time to do that before the enemy attacks. Right here you can see Clash's fast moving general bodyguard unit here. As I say here, you can see he's moving along quietly along this side of the hill here. Now he's after, I think, Danny's religious morale giving item unit there. Can you see that one there? But he's pulled back. That's what he was after there. He's after hitting Danny's morale giving unit, but of course he then spotted that Danny has spotted him with his cavalry and is pulling back. So that's what he was heading for there. That's what Clash would like to have taken out, but of course he's got to retreat now because of course Danny spotted him and is now going to chase him off, and it's a good move here for him to take his general unit back up to his army there. But as I say, look how hilly or even mountainous this map is. So that's one we will probably not use again, because as I say, it gives our team too much of an advantage. We need to form up and move down the hill there to more even ground. That's what we need to do. And just as long as we get time to do that, because I know the enemy team we're facing here, especially Danny in first prime, very aggressive. Can you see here that Finrod here has got his pikes at the spearmen right at the front of his battle formation there to repulse cavalry attacks, but also these guys are good at holding infantry as well, so they've got a dual purpose there of putting them at the front of our battle formation. As you can see here, I'm moving my missile troops forward here. I'm more at the bottom of the hill there than my allies, and I'm going to take them forward there to engage Danny's missile troops at the battle. Okay, at this very, very early stage of the battle here, I thought we'd show you some of the musketeers in action here. Now here's Danny's musketeers. Now they got long range. Their defense isn't very good, but they've got long range. Can you see the front rank there fires? Okay, well the rear rank reloads. Can you see that? I thought that's pretty good. And they're targeting my troops. Now make no mistake here, these musketeers have got good long range. They'll outrange my missile troops here. Can you see once again the rear line has reloaded their muskets. They've moved forward now and they're going to fire while the rear line reloads. Bang bang. See that? I think that's really good how they do that. And if you notice here, you'll see that a lot of my troops have been I've suffered a lot of dead troops here. Can you see here this unit here? Let's just pause the game for a second here. So this unit here, look how many men I've lost from them. I think they've only fired 2 volleys, and look at the men they've cost me, and I'm not even in range with my troops. My troops haven't even got into range of the enemy troops yet. So that's why I've got to run my troops forward now to get into range. And of course, the closer I get to them, and before I start shooting, the more damage they're going to do to me with their effective against armour musket shots. And as I say, they seem to reload quite quickly, but I just think it's quite good here as the front row fires. You can see the rear line reloading. I think that's just so cool there. As I say, I'm moving my my musket men forward here. I'm not sure if you pronounce that arquebusiers, is that how you pronounce them? I'm not sure how you pronounce them there, but I've got my Pavis crossbowmen there as well. As I say, got all my units in open order here. This is a nice little hit here from Danny going in there, and bang, as he smashes in with that cavalry unit straight into one of my Pavis bowman units there. Nice hit there. If you notice there, I'm counter-attacking with my cavalry, and I've moved some of my infantry forward as well to counter that attack. But that was a nice lightning attack there by Danny. Nice to see that. And as I say, you can see in the whole map that I think Danny and me are quite equal here. We seem to be quite even here, the ground does, between us. As I say, I've got my, arquebusiers there, I think that's how you pronounce it. These got effective against armour shot as well, but I think they fire at a less rate than the musketeers, so they seem to take longer to reload than those musketeers do. So of course the musketeers can cause a lot of casualties. As I say, most players in this game don't allow gun units because they think they're overpowered. Right, can you see my crossbowmen here? Can you see how they turn their back on the enemy so their shields protecting them? They wind up their bows, their crossbows, and then put the bolt into the bow and fire it. I think it's just so I think it's pretty cool here how they do that. So okay, so as you see here, they fire the bolt now, and then they'll turn round. They kind of wind up the crossbow, if you know what I mean. You know, they kind of cock it, don't they? There you go. See, you can see them actually like winding it up, like cocking the crossbow, and then when they kind of grab the bolt, put that into the crossbow, stand up and shoot. I just think that's I think that's pretty cool being able to see that. It's quite good. Let's say we cause them a lot of casualties here because, as I say, the musketeers got a good rate of fire. They can do a lot of damage with their armor piercing shot, but their defense is not very good. So when they come into range of enemy troops, they can suffer a lot of casualties. The same with Pavis crossbowmen, they're shooting those effective against armor crossbow bolts into them. So as I say, they've got good long range, can do troops a lot of damage before they get into range, but once these troops come into range of enemy missile troops, they can suffer a lot of casualties there. Now you're going to shoot again. Now make no mistake, they'd have caused my troops a lot of casualties there, but you can see how their ranks are being diminished here by my Pavis crossbowmen, really causing them a lot of casualties there with those crossbow bolts. And as I say, I've got my arquebusiers shooting at them as well with their armor piercing shot. But you can see I've lost a lot of men here already to those. Bearing in mind I'm only facing 2 of those musketeer units. You can see how overpowered they are. This is the casualties that they've caused to my 5 missile units. Okay, just those 2 musketeer units there has caused so many casualties to my 5 units. So it just goes to show how effective musketeer units are. There you are, look, winding up the bow, cocking the bow, the crossbow there, putting the bolt in, look, put the bolt in, stand up and shoot. I just thought that's so cool seeing them do that. So meanwhile, over on our right flank here, you can see that Clash has got a real hill advantage here. And really, I think what we were talking as a team was that we were going to move down to be on more even ground here. But over here on the right flank, it seemed that First Prime was being aggressive and attacking there, so we didn't kind of move down the hill as we were planning to do. But as I say, I think one of the enemy teams said they didn't mind fighting on a different map from the usual flat map. So there you go. But I'd just like to apologise once again for hosting on a hilly map. But as I say, we are trying to learn these maps, and this is one I won't host on again. Right, let's pause the game for a second here. So as you can see, First Prime really being aggressive here, charging uphill with his infantry and cavalry. You've got his allies coming across here as well. That war guy coming across with his cavalry. Okay, so as I say here, First Prime being very aggressive here. Fair play to him, wanting to attack uphill here against Clash's units. As I say, we know First Prime, very aggressive, very attacking player, one of the most aggressive attacking players in the Brotherhood and on Rome Total War, so he's not going to hang around there. And I've noticed when he alt attacks there, I think his cavalry have got effective against armour maces. So that's quite interesting to see, because I haven't seen any other cavalry that is effective against armour. So that's interesting to see that those that faction that First Prime has bought has got effective against armour cavalry. Very interesting there. But as I say, you can see Clash bringing his infantry and cavalry down here. I think Cappy Finrod here has brought his cavalry over to help Clash as well, and bang, as that cavalry smashes in there. So as I say, Finrod's brought his cavalry over here to help Clash on this flank. Here you can see First Prime advancing with his infantry here. As I say, very aggressive, very attacking. I think this was the first game we played Sunday night, so I think everybody was kind of all how can you say, pumped up for the game, if you see what I mean, because we were really looking forward to it. So I think here is, say, First Prime, very aggressive, very attacking here uphill. Possibly he might not have done that in you know, when we'd all calmed down a little bit, but as I say, we've been really looking forward to playing this game. So I think, as I say, we were all pumped up to play it there, and that's why First Prime attacked uphill there. I say there's a bit of close-in fighting going on there, but as I say, it's interesting to see First Prime's cavalry, when they all attack, they've got effective against armour maces. Okay, let's pause the game for a minute. So you can see that Dan has brought his cavalry over here to help First Prime as well. So I think all of the enemy cavalry are over here at this moment fighting Clash's infantry and cavalry. I've brought my cavalry over from the other flank as well. You can see it's locked and loaded. And as I say, you got the downhill cavalry charge bonus here, but you know, once again, just to say sorry to the other team there for hosting on this this hilly map that gives us such an advantage. Right, you can see my cavalry charging downhill there into one of the enemy units, and bang, as it smashes in there. But as I say, here you can see the disadvantage that the enemy team have got here fighting up here. Right, you can see First Prime bringing in some battle damage cavalry into attacking one of Clash's Pavis crossbowmen there. But just to say that the actual missile troops in this, especially the crossbowmen, seem to be really tough. They don't die quickly, and because they got such good defense, you alt attack them and they can really hold for a long time, even against good cavalry. So as I say, because they're so well armoured, I think, in the medieval warfare here. So as I say, it's a massive battle here going on our right flank. But from what I can see here, with all the cavalry and downhill advantage that we've got, we seem to have routed a lot of the enemy troops here on our right flank. Okay, so as I say, as the enemy team, I thought really good at trying to attack uphill against us there. But of course, with all the downhill advantages that we've got, we've you know, as I say, we've got a big advantage there. So over here on the left flank, where my missile troops were facing damage, can you see my battle depleted units? Now I had 5 missile troops against 2, and you can see how battle depleted my units were. As I say, you can see all the enemy troops now are moving over to their flank there, over to our right flank there, because maybe they can see that the make or break of the battle is going to be on that right flank. Okay, I can see Finnegrod, they're bringing his Spanish troops over here to help Clash. Let's say you can see the dead on the snow here. I think that's quite effective. I think snow battlegrounds are quite good because they really do show up the different factions. I think on some of the maps on here it's sometimes a bit difficult to see what factions what, but I think with the snow background here it really does help you to see the different units and factions. There you can see First Prime's units that were, a lot of them were routed in that hill battle, but a lot of them are rallying now and they're going to come back into the fray. We didn't chase those routers down, and as you can see here, we've moved over basically all our army over to the right flank here. Here you can see Finrod here with his pikemen there at the front of his battle formation. Once again, good anti-cavalry pikemen there, spearmen there, but also good anti-infantry too. They'll hold for a long time against infantry. You can see Clash has lost a lot of units here over on this right flank, so Clash didn't get off scot-free here, even though we had a hill advantage. I noticed he's lost a lot of men. In fact, I think he might have lost all his cavalry as well. Now I'm wondering here if the enemy team are going to move into that small wooded area. Okay, I'm just wondering that. You see that small wooded area there? I'm wondering whether the enemy team are thinking they could pull in there, and maybe the woods there, you know, the trees and everything would stop our attack, you know, taking the momentum out of our attack if we charge into the woods. I wonder if that's what they're thinking there. But as you can see here, our team is forming up here, ready to attack the enemy team. I've got what's left of my missile troops here. But as I say, I had 5 missile troops there, and look how they've been battle depleted by just 2 musketeer units of Danis. So it just goes to show how powerful and maybe how overpowered muskets and gun units are in general in this game, as other medieval Total War 2 players have told us. But I still think having 2 gun units per faction is fine you know, it adds a little bit to the game, doesn't it? I can't see any problem with just having 2, and then you can bring as many crossbowmen or archers as you want on top of that here. But as you can see here, as I say, Clash has lost all his cavalry at this time of the battle. So as I say, on that right flank, we didn't get away completely scot-free, even though we had that big downhill advantage. And as I say, it wouldn't surprise me now if the enemy troops moved into that wood, because as I say, don't forget, you know, when you charge into the woods, you charge into those trees actually stop the momentum of an attack. They kind of diminish the charge bonus that you would get. So it wouldn't surprise me if they did move into that wooded area. That would be a good defensive move. As I say, my battle depleted units here are still shooting into the enemy team here, hopefully causing casualties. Remember, I think from what I've seen, that all missile troops, I think from what I've seen, are pretty armor piercing. I think that's what they are, but don't forget, we're still learning this game, so everything is still pretty new to us. As I say, I haven't played this game for over 12 years, so I'm kind of relearning it. And as I say, you can see the enemy team here now moving into that wooded area, as we thought they might do, to help their defence. Because obviously now, as I think we took out a heck of a lot of First Primes units over on that right flank of ours, their armies are going to be quite battle depleted, and they obviously want to take up a defensive position, and I think in those woods there would be a good move for them to go into. Right, can you see Danny's religious morale giving unit here, very slow moving? And as I say here, I remember I was going to take it out with some cavalry, and as I say, can you see that he's abandoned it now and are running his troops off? But those troops that run it have got anti-cavalry spears. Now, I didn't know that till I hit them. If you look closely, can you see they've actually got spears, so they're anti-cavalry. And so they could cause my cavalry quite a lot of damage there. Maybe I should have looked to maybe bring some infantry units over as well. But remember, anything in Barbarian Invasion, RTW, or this game, anything with spears or pikes are anti-cavalry. And I think these guys put up a really good fight. Look how many cavalry I've got fighting them, and they're still fighting now. Look, you can still see them fighting. You've still got those spearmen still fighting my cavalry there, and they're not going to give up. I think I'm going to have to kill them all, I think, to be able to get rid of them. They seem a really tough unit to kill, even with all that cavalry. And it looks like we might have just... there you are. They didn't rout, they fought to the last man. Whoa. Yeah, pretty tough to me. But as I say, right, you can see the enemy now have taken up a defensive position in the woods. Okay, so now we've got to attack them in the woods. I think that Clash and Finnegan are going to move forward here and attack from this direction. You can see that we're still shooting missiles into the enemy troops with our Pavis, a crossbowman. And as you see here, you can see Finrod there has got a musket unit there as well. Once again, remember, those musket units long range do a lot of damage, and all these missile troops are effective against armour, so they're going to cause a lot of casualties to the enemy team. And if you notice here, can you see I'm moving my army around here to the left? So what our plan is here, I think that Clash and Finrod are going to attack at the front of the woods, and I'm going to come in from the flank here. I think that's what the main battle plan is here now at this stage of the battle. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. We're still using missile troops here. Let's just pause again for a second here. So let's say over here you can see that both Clash and Finrod here with their troops are going to move in. They've still got missile troops shooting up the enemy troops in the woods, softening them up a little bit before we move in, but that's going to be their attack. Clash and Finrod from the front, and my Portuguese army going to come in from the right flank here and attack the enemy from this flank. So we're going to hit them from two directions. But as I say, the trees in the woods, like, they kind of affect your charge bonus. Obviously, if you think about it in real life, if you're charging into the woods, those trees are going to slow you down, aren't they? They're going to knock out your momentum, so they're going to take away a lot of the charge bonus that you would have normally in an open battlefield. So I think that's a really good move for them in there. As I say, they've still got their Pavis bowmen there, their crossbowmen, they're still shooting, but of course we're shooting at them from the front. I think Finrod and Clash, his missile troops, are shooting in them from the front, and of course my battle depleted units are shooting in from the side as well. So as I say, we're trying to soften them up with our missiles even more before we attack. But as I say, charging into the woods, I think we lose most of our charge bonus, and I think this is an ideal defensive position for the enemy team. As I say, you can see, as I say, I really like to see how they turn around, they cock those crossbows, get the crossbow bolt, fit it into the crossbow, stand up and shoot. I think that's really good to see that. Bearing in mind this is a game that's over 15 years old, I think that's a nice little touch. Okay, so get ready for this, we're going to attack soon. Okay, here, so you can see here the Finrod here is charging his cavalry, his Spanish cavalry in there, and bang, as they smash into those enemy troops in the woods there. But as I say, going through those woods, going into the woods there, those trees will stop your momentum, they will take out a lot of charge bonus. Can you see how his cavalry didn't penetrate much into the woods there because of the trees stopping the charge cavalry bonus there? Right, you can see here I'm moving in from the other flank here, I'm moving in from the left flank here into attacking those enemy troops. I'm taking my spearmen in forward there, in front of my main battle formation there, to soak up any cavalry that might be hiding in the woods. And you can see Finrod's got his spearmen at the front of his battle formation as well, so we're going to move in there with the spearmen first, so if they try any cavalry attacks they're going to run into our spears. But also don't forget, spearmen in this game seem to be really effective against infantry as well, so it's if you get spearmen, like, they're pretty good. But a lot of the spear units in this, I find the defense is very, very low on them, so it's kind of let's say it's all experimenting for us at the moment anyway. Here you can see Finrod's infantry charge, Clash's infantry charging in there as well. You got Clash and Finrod's infantry going there. You can see my Portuguese army moving forward into the woods as well, slowly moving forward there. As I say, you can see my spearmen are at the front of my main battle formation there, moving into the enemy troops. There's a nice little cavalry attack here from, I think it's Danny there, is it? No, it's from that war guy there, came in and hit me from the flank there with that with his cavalry. Nice little hit that. As I say, I'm counter-attacking with my cavalry now, but that was a nice little hit there from that war guy. As I say, I think he's an experienced MTW2 player, so you wouldn't expect anything less from someone like that. As I say, for the rest of us, we're all learning the game. We're all kind of, I think, what's that you say, noobs? I think that's what we are. We're all kind of new players to this, or kind of relearning it from, playing it years and years ago. But say here, my Portuguese troops are coming in from the left flank, while Clash and Finrod coming from the front of the woods there. But you can see a lot of enemy troops here moving towards my infantry and cavalry here. So there's a lot of close-in fighting going on here now. We've still got our missile troops shooting, but remember that crossbows and muskets can't shoot over the heads of friendly infantry, so if they fire, there's a good chance they might shoot into the rear of friendly troops, obviously, because they can't, as I say, they can't shoot over the heads there. You can see my spear units there. As I say here, a lot going on there. Here you can see a lot of the enemy troops attacking my cavalry there. I say cavalry in this game seems to be really tough as well. They seem to be able to fight for a long time before they're taken out. But there are really elite cavalry in this game that seem to hold for ages. But as I say, it's all new and experimental to us at the moment. As I say, I haven't played this for over 12 years, so I'm relearning it. But it's really like I'm a new player again. So say I've got a lot of enemy troops here attacking my cavalry, but we've routed a lot of those enemy troops there. As I say, you can see Finrod and Clash advancing into the forward part of the woods there, routing a lot of enemy units, and you can see a lot of the enemy units are starting to rout now as we charge into those into the woods. I just think probably the hill advantage that we had here, as I say, once again, apologise to the other team for hosting on this map, but as I say, we're trying out all the different maps here, trying to find interesting maps and exciting maps here, and unfortunately this was a bit of a mistake map, with it being so hilly. As I say, nobody likes hilly maps because it does encourage camping, and it gives one side or the other a big advantage, so as I say, I think that's the reason we won the game here, is just because we had that big hill advantage there. As I say here, you can see Finrod still got a lot of his cavalry left here, charging into the enemy team. But I noticed that, as I say, I think both First Prime and Danny had a lot of spear units there, so they'll be anti-cavalry, but a lot of their units have been so battle depleted, their morale will be so low that they're probably routing. As you can see there, they are routing now. And from what I can see here, it looks like our... let's just pause again for a second here. It looks like our team may have gone on to win the battle here. Right here you can see where the main battle was fought here on our right flank. You can tell once again, like we look at most of our battles there, the biggest clumps of dead is obviously where the most intense part of the fighting was there, and as you can see there, that's where a lot of it was. But of course it was spread across the hill a little bit as well. You can see a lot of dead cavalry there, and of course as we move over to the this part of the battlefield, there'll be a lot of dead there. And I think the attacking generals, yeah, they've just admitted defeat. Okay, so here is the battle result thing here. Just like to say, really well done to everybody in the game there. It was a clear victory, but then as we had such a hill advantage, you know, that it doesn't mean anything at all. It's just that we had the hill advantage. That's why it was a clear victory there. If you know Finrod Filigund there, with his Spanish army, got some good kills there, enemies killed. But look at Clash's Spanish army. He got the highest kills in the game. So well done to Clash there, but I noticed he had the highest point there on the hill, so maybe that would explain that. So I'd like to say really well played to First Prime there. Got some good kills, bearing in mind he was attacking uphill, so well done to First Prime. You can see men deployed, men lost, men remaining, and the enemies that they killed there. Warfighter RX there. Did quite well, got some good kills, got the highest kills in his team there with Milan, so well done to him. And Danny also had Milan, got some quite good kills there as well, so really well played, guys. Once again, sorry for that map. My Portuguese army didn't do too bad. I didn't get 2 good kills there. I got the lowest kills in my team. Well done to Finrod, really good aggressive, and well done to Clash there. Really well done. And now if we have a look at the statistics of the battle here, can you see it's a bit different from BI and Rome Total War? You got experience gained, you've got casualties sustained, casualties inflicted. Okay, so you can have a look at that. My army, I don't think, did very good at all there. If you look at the casualties, you got casualties healed, and there you got prisoners caught. Now that's unusual, isn't it? Prisoners caught. I seem to have captured some prisoners there. wasn't even aware I captured any prisoners, but none of my army was taken prisoner. I can see that. And men, I'm not sure what men means there. I don't know if any of you know what that means, but so there's you know, you can see right the way your whole army there. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this medieval Total War 2 battle, the first one we've ever put on our channel.